Well, the search is continuing this morning for the Malaysia Airlines plane which vanished on a flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. As counter-terrorism agencies from around the world join the investigation, Interpol has revealed no checks were made of its database regarding stolen passports used by two passengers to board the Boeing 777. Contact was lost with the aircraft on Saturday. Australia has now joined the search as Vietnamese team spotted possible debris. For more news, reporter Alexis Donkin joins us from Kuala Lumpur and Sunrise reporter Lexi Hamilton-Smith in Brisbane, where two couples on board the plane lived. And editor of airratings.com, Jeffrey Thomas, is in Los Angeles. Good morning to you all. Alexis, let's start with you. Malaysian authorities are playing down the object spotted by the Vietnamese search teams.
That's right. Well, they've found these objects after this 48-hour search, and as we know, as this talk of possible terrorism has been floating around in the past 48 hours, they've really thrown everything at this search off the Vietnamese coast. So they have found these objects, this debris, but at a press conference held here in Kuala Lumpur late last night, they ruled out that that was part of the aircraft. However, what they have told us is that those oil slicks that they did locate off Vietnam are now being tested to see if they have in fact come from an aircraft like this Boeing 777. But at this stage they won't reveal exactly what those objects are, but they are saying it's not related to that particular aircraft. Now, I must say that this is a huge search that's taking place. We're being told that there are now 34 aircraft. Two of them, as you say, belong to Australia. There are also, we're being told, 40 ships. So a very large search being conducted off Vietnam.
OK. Jeff, Interpol says no checks have been done on their database regarding stolen passports. Is that regularly done by airlines? If not, why not?
Well, Koshi, I'd like to think it was regularly done by airlines. All the loops and hoops they make us go through with booking an airline ticket, and with all the the visas and things like this that we have to do, I find it extraordinary that airlines aren't checking Interpol databases for stolen passports like this. And, if it turns out that these two stolen passports, these two people were hijackers, for instance, that'll be a very interesting parallel, very tragic parallel to a crash that Malaysia Airlines had in 1977 when two hijackers took over a Boeing 737 and there was a fight in the cockpit. The plane disappeared, 100 people died. So there's a very tragic parallel to possibly what might have happened in this scenario.
Gee, that's chilling. Also, Jeff, news out this morning says that this particular plane had damaged its wing in a collision 2 years ago. Would that have had any bearing?
Look, it's a very interesting situation. Yes, in August 2012 at Shanghai Airport, it was taxiing to take off when it struck the tail of an A340, which was also at a hold. It was at a hold point. It took the tip of the wing off, and that tip of the wing was left embedded in the A340 tail. And the wingtip was repaired, but the question is, was there more structural damage done to that wing that possibly went undetected and may be a factor in this disappearance? So there is that possibility. OK. Lexi, you've spoken to some of the family and friends of the Aussies on board. How are they coping?
Yeah, I have, Koshi. I spoke to the Mr. and Mrs. Burrow's son on Saturday night. As you can imagine, they're just absolutely devastated. They asked for some time to digest what is actually going on. They're praying, of course, for a miracle, but we're talking 2 days now. So I think the families, as the Malaysian Airlines authorities have told them, they really do have to prepare for the worst. And indeed, their best friends, the Launtons, they were travelling together on one of those trips of a lifetime, have put out a statement. The three daughters have said, while they're trying to remain positive, they now realise that they have to brace themselves for the worst possible outcome. Now, we spoke to some of the neighbours of the Launtons from Springfield Lakes, and they just said they were the most gorgeous couple. They were called Nan and Pop, and they are going to be greatly missed if indeed they have passed away at this point. But of course also there's Mr Weeks, Paul Weeks in Perth, his wife Danica. They have 2 little children, and she is just saying she's trying to remain strong at this point.
All right, team, thank you for that. Keep us updated. Here's Sam.